Good morning. It is day 8 of these videos to improve camera presence, and I guess share now what it's becoming for a short period of time here is to share thoughts and ideas as a person with schizophrenia, and I guess send that out. What I was going to talk about this morning was that my dad was watching a TV show, and in the show there was a episode or there was a show about a guy that faked his death because he got involved in the underworld and things of that nature, and he faked his death and left the country or something like that. And so I guess this happened to be a true story, and they built a show around it. And so this gets into the idea of, like, I think there is like a big thing going on with people faking their deaths, and I think it happens on a wide scale. I don't know where the people go. I don't know if they go to the Bahamas. I don't know if they go to Argentina, like Hitler or something. Not to say that they're Hitler, but like, uh, you know, what's it just seems like there's a massive amount of people faking their deaths, and I've kind of been communicated with that this is happening. Uh, you know, so if you think about the wars and things like that, could they be fake and people fake their deaths? Or is there some combination of massive warfare going on where people die and then some people fake their deaths to escape what's going on? And then I started thinking, like, maybe they go into the Galactic Empire or the Galactic Federation is what they call it or something. And they're out in space now traveling the stars, and maybe that's how they supply people into that structure. And I started thinking, like, I hope Kobe, that's what happened to Kobe, because it's, Kobe was going to a Catholic church in the morning, and he got on a foggy helicopter. And the day before that happened, I actually went to a Catholic church with my mom, and the priest was giving a talk, and he kept talking about being in a fog and everything. Now, maybe that priest knew there was going to be a fog the next day. I don't know, but it's just a little weird that Kobe went to a Catholic church that morning and then supposedly died in a helicopter crash. And uh, the fact that that coincidence happened is a little suspicious to me, and I hope it was a fake death. I hope that's the coincidence. And yeah, so I just throw that out there that I hope that's what happened. Off. I'm going to segue here to another topic, and this one is a little lighter, and hopefully, anyways, but hotels. I like hotels that have roundabouts in the hotels, and they have like NBC Suites or Luxemburg in Vegas, even though I've never been to the Luxembourg. I've been inside the Luxembourg, and I thought, man, it would be cool to stay here. And I'm not a real big Vegas person, but the hotels seem kind of nice, like the New York, or the Venetian. And it's kind of like I have this like idea, like it would be cool to kind of stay there. There was a period of time when my programming was kind of nice. People were being kind of nice to me. It's not really like that right now, but there was also a period of time where people were extremely mean to me. So, uh, you know, but when people were nice, I started thinking, like, hey man, maybe I'll go to Vegas and have a nice time or whatever. But it's not really like that anymore. But I do like hotels. I wanted to work in hospitality at one point, and then I thought to myself, there might be a lot of drinking and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle the social aspect of it, and uh, but I actually wanted to go into hospitality in school. That's what my schooling. I I thought my schooling could work for hospitality, but little did I know that my schooling was really something totally different, and uh, it is not something that hospitality would like. I don't think a hospitality industry would like. Uh, and the book I'm reading, now segue, it's another topic, Never Enough. And in this book, we're in a section, and it is talking about children associating love with achievement. And I think this gets into a general idea about our society that so many messages come to us where love comes through achievement. And in this book, it focuses on children, and it's the idea that kids need to know that their worth does not fluctuate and that their value is constant with us, whether they're achieving or not. And our society is the opposite of this. Our society, uh, so many messages from sports to movies to Academy Awards to politics to schooling itself. It's all achievement based and academics and just workplace. Everything is about achievement, and your worth, your value fluctuates throughout society everywhere you go. Like, we're gonna give you this $3,000 raise. We're gonna fire you. And it's like, on some level, that's the way the system works, and the system wouldn't work as it is without that kind of setup. No, we would have to have a totally different civilization and culture, which I personally think is possible. I think we can create a situation where people value hard work for the sake of doing a good job for people and serving people, or uh, making something that's nice. So I think you can create a situation where that is going on without fluctuating values of yourself in society. Anyways, as it relates to children, this book, Never Enough, says that this fluctuating of value on a child, or giving focusing on achievement with the child, results in a false self of the child. And I personally think this happens with adults too. We get a false self as well. And then this false self is a coping mechanism for high expectations of excellence. So you have this high expectation of excellence, and if you don't receive excellence, you don't receive the love, and you create this false self of like, oh, I really want to achieve and create this excellence, and it's like it's not really who you are as a person. And uh, this is all related to something called conditional regard. And as a schizophrenic, I'm experiencing the very mechanisms of this conditional regard on a daily basis. The whole system that governs the schizophrenic process is all about conditional regard, where affection depends on meeting expectations. So the moment I don't meet expectations, the affection goes away. Sometimes it's negative conditional disregard, and sometimes it's positive conditional disregard. Sometimes I meet the expectations, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's what a great job," and all this. And sometimes I don't meet the expectations, whether it be my weight, whether it be all these things and stuff. So, anyways, this gets into the idea of weight loss, and the idea that other people have expectations on your weight. And when you're schizophrenic, people punish and reward you through elaborate reward and stimulus, or for making weight or diet and exercise and stuff like that. And it's weird that people have expectations on other people's body and weight. And I have to learn, and I guess, when people are rude in that level, you have to come to an understanding, like, you have to set that aside, and it's kind of noise a bit. So it's like I'm trying to lose weight right now personally as a person because I'm like 193 pounds and I want to get to like 170, and I have determined that this will help me be a little bit healthier. And so it's like a personal thing for yourself. You need to do it for yourself and set out all the noise. And it's hard when people are taking active interest in punishing you or rewarding you for making or losing weight. And so uh it's a little difficult to say, like, I want to do this for myself and do away with the rudeness of other people uh judging you or something like that, because your reaction is kind of like to kick it all aside and say, no, that's not something that is gonna affect me. But then you have to realize at the same time that weight is a health thing, so you have to take it upon yourself to do it for yourself if that's something that you want to do, if health is something that is important to you, or you have to do it on your own and shut out all the noise. Anyways, so here's another thing that I was going to talk about, and that's Ronald Reagan and the idea of alien threats. And he gave a speech before the United Nations talking about if there was an alien threat, then we would all be united uh, in defending the Earth, and that would unite the whole world. And sometimes I wonder, like, well, did that really happen? Was there really something like an alien threat, and he was letting it out of the bag a little bit, like, hey, the world is united, and now we have fake Cold War or something, or you know, or is there a cadre of people that are united at the top and they have us all fighting amongst each other? I don't really know. But then you think about it, it's a little bit fear based because you're thinking of aliens as a threat. But how much of that fear base is based on some sort of like a reality that we should be a little bit fearful of the unknown, because there are, in fact, if you just look around the way Earth is constructed, there are predators on Earth. But then this gets into like the idea of the Gnostics, like maybe the Earth's God was or the Earth's creator, if there was a creator, if you believe in intelligent design. I personally do think there was intelligent design to some extent. I don't know if it's like a type of computer program, but like a universal program that's kind of designing everything. And anyways, so this gets into the idea that you know you see there's a lot of predators in Earth, and you have to be wary of that as a human or another animal. And humans themselves are predators, and we're very intelligent, and we're creating civilization here on Earth as predacious people. And not to say that that's the total thing that encompasses being a human being, because humans can be very elevated in consciousness and not predacious. So, anyways, but to think, like, there could be alien species that have a civilization, and some of them could be predators, and some of them could be highly evolved or non-predacious. So we shouldn't necessarily think just because there are aliens that they're a threat to us, but you can't rule it out, I guess. And especially as me, as someone that doesn't have knowledge of what's going on in the universe. And okay, so that was about 15 minutes. And I think I'm going to call it quits. I think I did pretty good today. And okay, goodbye.